Hey, what is up guys, Gitarok here, welcome back to another Blue Archive video. Now, they just released the roadmap and of course a bunch of other upcoming events. Alright, if you guys are not aware, we're gonna have a live stream this coming Friday. So with that, stay tuned. I'll be co-watching this, doing a watch party of this as well. So that's going to be very, very exciting. Alright, first things first, apparently in JP, they're going to rerun this particular event with the Dress Aru and Dress Kayoko. Good news for anyone who missed on Dress Aru previously, and Dress Sari is going to be a playable character. So I can't wait to see her skill kit. That's going to be announced later on, but man, very, very exciting for sure. Alright, so we're gonna have a Kivoto's live. This is going to be a big event. So this coming week, we are still not going to have this particular new update, but this one is gonna be next week. Alright, so we're gonna have this main story, and of course this is going to feature the idol characters. We got Idol Mary right here in the middle. On the left, we got Idol Sakurako, and on the right, we got Idol Mine. So this is going to be what it is. Now let's talk about the characters. We're going to talk about the roadmap as a whole, and also make sure you guys pre-register as well, because they'll be giving out plenty of free rewards. As you can see right here, you are going to get all of these given to you in your mailbox. I believe even if you don't pre-register, you're still going to get those items. But if you want to be safe, right, feel free to just pre-register it. Alright, you just got to put your email address here, your country and your region, and do all of those things. Today's video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. Now if you guys are not aware yet, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako are both snack boxes exclusively from Japan, and it comes with limited edition treats and of course snacks that is exclusively packaged and delivered to you on your doorstep. Now let's first talk about Tokyo Treat. This month's theme is the Sakura Nights Snack Fest. We get to enjoy the exclusive Sakura flavored treats and of course the tasty seasonal snacks inside. So some of the featured snacks are going to be the Sakura Matcha Wafers, the Sakura Castella Cake, Sakura Sandwich Cookies, Sweet and Sour Gummies, and of course the Twilight Truffle Chips. I'm going to see if I can open up this particular one. So you can see this is the gummies, right? I was also reading this particular pink characters. Very interesting lore. Now these are all the stuffs you can get from the Tokyo Treat box. Very cool. Now the Sakurako's theme for this month is going to be the Moonlit Sakura. This month you get to immerse yourself in the ephemeral beauty of Yozakura. Nighttime cherry blossom viewing with authentic flavors such as the delicate wagashi sweets and of course the fragrant tea. Now some of the featured snacks includes the Sakura Dorayaki, the Sakura chocolate cookie, the Sakura cream cookie, Sakura Madeline, and of course the Sakura shrimp sanbae. Now these snacks pair perfectly with the Sakura hibiscus tea, and this month's home good is the Sakura wagashi plate. Now as per usual, if you guys are interested to get any of these Sakurako or Tokyo Treat box for yourself, feel free to use my referral link in the description below and use code GITAROK for $5 off. Very cool. And with that being said, let's get back to today's video. Okay, let's talk about the roadmap since they have given us up until the rerun for Dress Ako and also Makoto. So first things first, we're going to focus on these three right now. So we got Mary, Idol. Alright, she's going to be the one that you want to consider getting. A very, very cool character. Again, a similar role to Kokona. I think she's going to be very, very strong, and I highly recommend, if you guys can afford to, definitely get her. Now, is she a must-have? I would say it's debatable, right? Because like if you are a meta player and you're playing specifically for meta, she's going to be very, very strong, right? I've mentioned this before. Right now, she is going to compete against Kokona. Now, Kokona is a standard character that you can easily obtain as well, right? But Idol Mary is a 2-cost single target healer. I mean, she can also heal herself, right? You can see right here. Very, very cool in that sense. Very, very good for trying to cycle through, right? Because you have a 2-cost healer on a striker slot. Now, not only can she heal, she can also give you fan service. Ooh, and that thing is going to convert into EX skill reduction. Alright, once you do 3 fan surveys, you will be able to reduce all of the EX skill cost of other allies by 1. So that is going to make her somewhat meta in a lot of situations against a lot of bosses that you're trying to tackle in the end game, right? She is going to be very, very good. Now, if you care about trying to do insane difficulty of a lot of the bosses, you're trying to climb the ranks and you're a hardcore player, a serious player, right? I think she's going to be one of the better characters to pull. However, if you are not someone that like particularly pushes your total assault, your grand assault as much, I think you can get away with not having Idol Mary. If you are just doing anything below insane, alright? Because insane difficulty is where the boss is going to start to have the element. Alright, and where Coconut cannot be used, she is going to have a different element in terms of the armor type compared to Coconut, right? So for every single meta player, I feel like you should definitely try to get her. She's going to be the highlight out of these three characters right here. She's probably going to be the one that you're probably going to use the most. Alright, you can use her in a lot of situations just because she's a 2 cost EX, which is going to be very cheap, right? It's going to allow you to just fit her into any team, cycle through. I feel her value is quite high in terms of especially for players that do not have Coconut yet. So that's going to be something to consider. Now, of course, Idol Mine is going to be there as well. Now, she is going to be free. Alright, you don't need to worry about Idol Mine as much. She is going to be a free welfare character. She does move your characters around. She is going to be a striker type as well. I would say she's going to be pretty good as well. Make sure you guys are trying your best to get additional shards throughout in the event, right? So she is going to be one of the better ones as well if you do not have Tracksuit Yuuka yet. Can she replace Tracksuit Yuuka? As far as I know, no, because Tracksuit Yuuka is still going to be quite meta in a lot of situations. Idol Mine is going to be more of a different type of element compared to Tracksuit Yuuka. Tracksuit Yuuka is a mystic and special, whereas for this girl right here, she's going to be explosive and heavy, right? So in terms of the defense element, it does depend on the boss, right? So in some situations, Yuuka can still shine, but I can see, you know, Mine can be used in Gebura. Now, Idol Sakurako. This is the one that obviously if you're trying to obtain Idol Mary, you want to obtain her as well. She's also going to shine in Gebura because Gebura is going to be a character or a boss that relies specifically on the special type student, and she buffs special type students, increase crit rate and crit damage for self and special students. I would say she is quite unique to the point that there's no other characters that's similar to her just yet. There are other characters that can increase attack of special students, but not crit rate and crit damage. So with that, she's also going to be quite important moving forward into the meta, especially later on if they try to introduce characters that or bosses that specializes in only taking bonus damage from special students. So that's going to be something to consider. So she may or may not become meta. Right now, she's only going to be mostly used in Gebura, but later on, who knows, right? So I would say getting her is going to secure your account in case they decide to go one route or like introduce new bosses. You'll never know, right? So that's something to consider as well. Now, those two out of the way, I would say this is going to be overall a very, you know, solid banner to pull, right? So I would say these two characters right here, again, Idol Mine is going to be free. Now this one, I would say if you can afford to, I highly recommend. The pull value here is very high. Now going into the next one on the 25th, now you got Hinata and Sari Rerun. Now this one, I would say skip, alright? So Sari and Hinata, again, Hinata used to be very strong. She used to be one of the best if you're looking for a special type AoE. However, ever since the fest, she has been pretty much replaced by this other character that I believe most players have, and that's going to be Arm Hoshino. Right, Arm Hoshino is also going to be another AoE character, not this particular one, but the second type. This is going to be, again, same cost, right? They are both 6 cost characters, and Arm Hoshino, can basically do more, right? She has like increased crit damage. She also has a ignore defense, which in a lot of cases, yeah, you can probably get both and see how it goes, right? Because Arm Hoshino is going to be Mystic Heavy right here, and Hinata is going to be, oh, actually they are the same type, right? So they are exactly the same type, Mystic Heavy as well. So there's just no situation or there's no world for you to build Hinata anymore. Even if you don't have Arm Hoshino, it's just better to just borrow it. Hinata has been pretty much replaced, right? Pretty much, that's just how it is. So as for Sari, this is going to be very interesting. She's a single target. Again, we do have Dress Hina right now for a lot of players. With how meta Dress Hina is, there's really no need for you to build a Sari right now, right? So you can still build her. She's still not too bad, can still fit in certain teams. However, like we all know, in terms of the meta characters, and building characters are so expensive in this game, the only players that should be building Sari are the not the new players, but the meta players who are trying to tackle Torment and they need multiple teams of multiple DPS characters. So for those accounts, sure, but if you're new, it's better to just focus on the supports and for the dress enough for the time being. So I would say skip, right? For that particular one, definitely. It is going to be a little bit more expensive to pull for these two. Now going into that afterwards, we got, you know, Swimsuit Hina, Swimsuit Yori, Cycling Shiroko. Now Swimsuit Hina and Swimsuit Yori are the only ones that are limited. Alright, they are currently being rerun. Cycling Shiroko, this is going to be a standard banner character, so you don't have to worry about her as much. As for the other two right here, you can see these two are going to be pretty much being used occasionally, right? But I would say they are not super meta as well in terms of rates, in terms of total assault, grand assault. There are some situations that you can use them, but it doesn't warrant enough or justify you to pull for them. In fact, I would highly recommend to skip this banner because the one that comes afterwards is going to be way more valuable. And that is going to be right here. We got Satsuki, we got Chiaki, and we got Makoto Rerun and Akko Rerun. Now, let's talk about all of this, right? This is dress Akko, not the regular Akko. So this is going to be a little bit more interesting, right? Because Satsuki and Chiaki are both standard banner characters. Makoto and dress Akko are limited characters. Now they are going to rerun. Usually they don't come back often. If you miss out on this, you might have to wait one whole year before you're able to obtain them again. I feel like dress Akko is going to be one of the most valuable character right here. If you don't have her already, she is going to be very, very good. Now what makes her really strong is she has an ability to increase crit rate and critical damage for 30 seconds. And what is good about this is an AoE. This is a circular area. It is a little bit high for 5 costs, but actually if you think about it, since it's an AoE buff, it is going to be really, really valuable. Alright, so 20% crit rate, almost 58% crit damage. That is a lot. That's a lot in a circular area. You are going to be able to buff a bunch of characters in that. Fury of Set, she's pretty much going to be used consistently. She's pretty much the meta. She's not going to go away anytime soon. Now paired with her normal skill that decrease defense as well, makes her extremely valuable. Alright, again, I don't see her value being reduced anytime soon unless we get another crit rate or crit damage buffer in a circular area, right? But right now, dress Akko, one of the most valuable character in Blue Archive, so highly recommend you guys to get her. As for Makoto right here, she is going to be a little bit weird, right? So Makoto is very, very interesting. She is a AoE character on the special student side. Okay, so she's not bad, she's pretty strong, however a little bit expensive to invest into her. As you can see, I haven't built mine. She's strong if you have plenty of enemies to benefit from her range. You can see the more enemies she hit, the higher her multiplier become, right? If you hit 4 or less, she only do 155%, but if you can hit 10 or more enemies, now her multiplier becomes 500% plus, and that's at level 1, right? At level 5, it's going to increase to even more crazy numbers. So she's a very unique character that specializes in, if there's a lot of enemies, that's where she shines. So in Chist, in maybe like Gregorius, if it's a Grand Assault, she's going to be very, very strong right there, right? However, in most regular circumstances, you probably are going to not need her as much. She's going to be much more valued in those specialized raids. But in those specialized raids, is it justified for you to build her, right? Like even for me as a veteran player, you can see I didn't build my Makoto, I end up borrowing instead. Building characters in this game, again, is super expensive, so you gotta like ask yourself if that value is going to be worth for you to go through, right? So for me, I would rather build something like Chiaki or Satsuki. I guess Satsuki is going to be the other one that's like super meta. She's going to be used consistently a lot in Gebura later on. So Satsuki is going to be a rare character that specializes in, she's a special type, alright? So she's a single target special type explosive DPS character. So where she shines, she increased defense penetration and she does a lot of damage. Like look at that, 1600%. That is a lot, alright? If you look at the multiplier, this is like an insane multiplier. For 3 costs, this is actually a lot. Alright, and additionally, you can also consume more costs, and this is going to increase her damage by 35% per cost. So she's one of the best single target in special type right now, which is why she shines in Gebura. Everybody is going to use her right there. Every 35 seconds, reduce one's critical damage resistance. That one, again, very, very valuable. And of course, all of this critical damage and attack boost is why she's meta right now. Now, if you are looking to build her, she's going to be worth it, but right now she only shines in one boss, which is Gebura, and that's going to come later on. In JP they already have that, but Global don't have that yet. So we gotta wait a little bit more and see how it goes, right? But as you can see, she's also going to be there, added to the standard banner with Chiaki. Chiaki is going to be another character that does 2700% damage. This is like even higher multiplier. However, she has one weakness in which this attack cannot critical hit. Alright, so again, she is going to be a Sonic type. For now, this is going to be quite niche. We don't really have much Sonic that's like single target base, but maybe in the future, who knows? They might introduce a boss that have really high critical resistance, and that's where she's going to shine, because right now, if you can't critical hit, I don't really see the value. Alright, even if you have higher multiplier, it doesn't really seem to make up for it. But maybe this is going to be something that she might become strong eventually, right? But for the time being, at 6 cost EX, I guess that's not that big of a deal. You can reduce it with like cost reduction characters, but you would better save for the other students, right? I would say Sasuke is going to be much more important in this case. Alright, so as you can see, highly recommend you guys to get Sasuke. I would say Sasuke and Dress Ako is going to be the priority. And then Makoto third, and then Chiaki maybe last. Because Chiaki, we don't see any usage yet. But at least for the other three, there are some usage in some bosses already. So this is going to be the priority list. So in my humble opinion, if you want to pull for a banner, it's going to be the idol students. And then I would say skip this one, and then go in on this particular one. That's pretty much my advice. If you already have Dress Ako, you already have Makoto, you can maybe skip this banner to wait a little bit later. And if you are looking forward to Tracksuit Yuka, she is going to come later on. She is going to be one of the few meta students as well that you can consider, right? So that's going to be something to look forward to. Sasuke is going to be valuable, but at the end of the day, she's still useful in one boss only, so you can still end up borrowing her. So that's still something that a lot of players are going to have that as an option. So yeah, with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it for this particular video. Let me know what you guys think of the roadmap. As per usual, subscribe, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.